Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to show you guys my Graptopetalums. So I have three of them here. One of them was actually shown in one of my previous videos. I'm going to do a quick update. So let me bring that up forward. So this one, in my previous video, I had a problem with one of the babies that I replanted planted in here. I pulled it out and I planted it one that was kind of leaning, replanted on the side, and I gave it water, and it's been, I want to say, 2, 3 days. It looks like it responded to the water. It's looking pretty good. All of them are pretty wrinkly then, but I haven't had any problems since I popped it back in here. It's looking good. So a quick update. So this one, I showed a bunch of different ones in different pots. I don't think in the video I ever mentioned the actual scientific name. So apparently, I knew that in my head, but I just didn't mention it in the video. But it's actually called Graptopetalum paraguayense. That's the actual name, scientific name, but it also goes by ghost plant, mother of pearl. So quick update on that. So I'm going to put that aside. So I'm going to show you my two other Graptopetalums. So this one is a fairly recent plant that I purchased. I think I purchased this one back in May, and I planted into this pod. It's really not, it hasn't done anything. It shed a few bottom leaves, and since then it's just been frozen in time. So this one is called um, amethystinum. Amethystinum. It's really hard to pronounce, but it also goes by jewel leaf or lavender pebbles, and I feel like this one, I purchased this one because I saw pictures of them in various different, channels and Instagram or whatnot. I follow a lot of plant people and a lot of succulents and whatnot, and I saw these and I thought they're really cute. So I purchased what was called moonstones. So I featured moonstones in a few videos ago. So they look, I almost feel like people just like interchange them. So after I purchased the moonstone, I specifically looked for the amethystinum, because I wanted to see what the difference was and if there is a difference and whatnot. And right now, I really can't tell if there's a difference. Um, to be fair, I feel like they look very similar to the moonstone. But then again, they're all sort of like in different stages. So it's really hard to say if you know if they are similar or the same, or they look different. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say because they're in different stages, and I can try to pop in some pictures of the moonstones that I have. But as far as I know, it looks similar. At least the pink ones. The moonstone that I have that's not pink, just the regular moonstone. It's kind of bluish, grayish. So, and it's much bigger. It has a much bigger face, and it has grown significantly more than the pink ones. So it's hard to say if it looks similar. But with this one, as I mentioned, it hasn't really done anything since I purchased and potted in here. Uh, it shed some leaves. So I'm back, and I don't recall what I was talking about, but I do think that I was trying to point out um, that this hasn't really been doing anything, but um, I'm a little I'm a little bit concerned about this right now, only because the leaves. I mean, they're right. They're rounded and pebbly, and they're supposed to be round, but I don't know if you can tell from like at the tips over here. It's kind of like sunken in, and it's doing that with one, two, three, these three leaves, and there's a little tiny one, a new one that's coming out. It's been like that for all summer. So maybe it's in its dormant stage phase right now. I really don't know, but I don't know if the leaves are supposed to look like this. I feel like, you know, you see how it's like sunken in over here. Um, I just don't know. I don't know if that's something that I should be concerned about or if that's okay. I mean, the nothing else looks wrong. I mean, nothing else, you know, it hasn't, like I mentioned, it hasn't done anything. It's just been sitting here, sort of like looking this way after you've lost like the several bottom leaves. It hasn't really done anything since then. Um, no changes in color. I mean, I actually watered it 2 days ago, I think. I just really don't know. So this is one of those I just have to wait until the fall, or wait until I can give it more water actively, because I do think that this variety, also with the moonstones, I do think that they like water, and that I should water them more frequently. Just can't do that right now. So I've just been waiting, but I did give it some water a couple of days ago, and it's not wrinkly or anything. It's just it's just the one concern I have are those leaves. Um, why it's like kind of sunken in closer to the node, I really don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to have the camera focus. But yeah, as I mentioned, this and the moonstone, I feel like a lot of people do interchange names, and I don't even know if the farms or the growers are really. I mean, is it a moonstone or is it, you know, amethystinum? I have no idea. But this, I did specifically get it under that name. So these, as you can see, are, you know, very pink to lavender. It came to me in this color, and it hasn't lost this color. So I don't know. I mean, it came with roots. It wasn't a cutting, so I don't know if it was a mature plant. Obviously, size wise, it's not that, you know, big. So I'm inclined to think that it's a baby, but these apparently can get up to 6 inches, you know, wide. The rosettes can grow up to 6 inches in the stem, and I've seen a lot of pictures of them. And the stem can get as tall as 12 inches. So, I mean, who knows? Like I said, just have to wait and see how this progresses. So we'll see. I mean, I'll keep updates. I know some I've shown in my previous video, my other moonstone, even though I purchased it same size, one just got really tall and leggy. So we'll see how this goes. So now I'm going to show you guys my Graptopetalum pachyphylum rose. That's apparently it's a scientific name. It also goes by bluebean. Now, I think it's called bluebean because it's blue, or it can get blue. I feel like I've seen many different videos and pictures, and they all have different colors. So right now, I mean, they start off like this bluish, grayish, or bluish green-ish color, and it can apparently go to pink, to purple, to brown. So I I mean, I've had this since January. So it's been, right, I want to say about 8 months, and it's grown quite a lot. I will insert a picture of when I first got it. It's gotten very leggy, partly because I think they do get stemmy, if that's a word. I'm like making up my own words. But they can get as tall as up to like 8 inches tall, and apparently the rosettes can get as big as 2 inches. Right now, these I want to say are about 1 to 2 centimeters. So the biggest rosette I have right now is probably half an inch. So it's grown a lot. I mean, it was tiny. It was very like uh, short, stout. The color has changed to more bluish to me. The tips have these like, red. No, they're more brown to me. Brown tips. And as I mentioned, it's gotten very leggy. And to be fair, you see the scars on the stems. It's because I decided at one point to take off the leaves. Don't ask me why. It's just one of those moments I had where, oh, it looks funny with all these leaves, and like it was leggy and it was just kind of like dangling there. And I was like, okay, maybe it'll look better if I take them off. And I just kind of took them off, not when they were dry like this, but because these are so tiny that, like, when they're fully dry, they just kind of like fall off. This obviously is not fully dry, but when they're completely dry, they just kind of fall off to the touch or in the wind. I mean, they're so tiny. Um, so I decided to take them off the stem, and I left little scars. Now that I look at it, I feel kind of bad. But it's gotten, and I repotted into this. I can't remember when. I want to say about a month ago, a month and a half ago, I repotted into this, and it adjusted well. Um, but I want to say, and it's grown. I wouldn't say it hasn't. I wouldn't say that it grew since I repotted into this new pot, but it's adjusted well. So I'm not too worried about it. It's definitely, I didn't really touch the roots when I put it into this pot. So what I did do was one day when I was looking at it, there was something wrong. I can't really remember what was wrong with it. I felt like one was like dying of like leaf rot or something. No, it couldn't have. I don't know. There's something wrong. There was definitely something wrong with it. So I clipped it. So I clipped this one, and I just found out today. I was looking at right before this video. I was looking at it. And I'm like, look, it put out a little baby. Amazing. So these, I think, they do put out babies fairly easily. As you can see, there's a lot of babies on here that are growing. It's not as stemmy as the other one, but this one already put out a little baby, and it's like, whoa! I just saw that today. Believe me, I look at my succulents every day, several times a day, and of course, as much as I would like to give them individual attention, sometimes it's really hard. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like to make these videos and I do the vlog, because it shows me, and I'm just like really like fascinated by the growth and the changes that these succulents go through. So it's sort of like my way of keeping a record, just like how I do with all my videos of my daughter. I just like I like to post them and keep them just for record, so I can always go back and look at them if I want to. I look at my own pictures, my pictures of my succulents on my phone all the time. I know it sounds weird, but I sit. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do look at a lot of like videos of plants and succulents and whatnot. So anyhow, back to my bluebean. So when I clip this, I put the face in here, and I can see it's a little wrinkly right now, although I did water it a couple of days ago. Um, I don't know if you can see, but there is a little tiny white root. That's Let me try to focus. It's like peeking through right here. So hopefully, I know this looks like super wrinkly, but hopefully this will survive. Flipped it, put it in here. Baby's coming out. Awesome. Um, and as you can see, there's like a lot of air roots on the stem. You see, like here, there's a white air root coming out. I just do think that it's doing that because, yeah, there's just kind of like the air roots are kind of all over. I think it's doing that because it does need water, and as I said, I watered it 2 days ago. So, um, I'm just waiting for the temperatures to go down a little bit more, and then I can then actively just give them showers, because that's what I like to do, and that's what's easiest. And I feel like they all the succulents, obviously, provided that you water them, you know not so frequently as they need it. But when they need it, I do hand select the ones that need water, and I like to spray them down, hose them down. It's just the easiest way, and I've seen so many like succulents that react better that way. So when they get showered, it also cleans their face, and it removes all the dirt. And I feel like with good air circulation out here, and the sun and the wind, I mean, it's just like that's their. I feel like that is their best you know environment. And these the ones that I showed you today, they all are native to Mexico, and apparently in the mountains. So as much as I would like to duplicate that environment, it's very hard here. But it does get pretty on the north side, so it gets pretty windy here, which I am very thankful for. And I think in the spring when I put them out initially, I was so afraid that the wind was gonna like knock over all my pots. But I've learned that is not gonna happen. Winds up to like 15 miles per hour, they're fine. So hopefully I won't have any kind of crazy storms this fall. So anyhow, so I think so. I'm super excited about these. Back to the color. It's just amazing to me. I've seen photos of them being really blue. I've seen photos of them being really purple. I've seen photos of them with like very pink tips, edges. So it's just I haven't seen them brown. So, but I can see how it can get brown, because I feel like some of these look more brown to me as well. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. And like, it's one of those things where it's very exciting, and I'm just looking forward to how it's gonna look in the fall. I'm thinking maybe when I repot it into this one, it wasn't that much bigger than the previous pot. But I do feel like maybe I should have potted into a smaller pot. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because I've seen other people where pictures of the bluebean, the stems are quite thick. Mine's very thin right now. I want to say they're about like 2 millimeters wide. So it's very thin, but it is, it's sturdy. It's not one of those stems where, it's not flipping. I mean, it has movement, but I can feel that it's sturdy. So hopefully it will grow bigger. I feel like it has plenty of room in here to grow bigger, and it's obviously putting out offsets fairly easily. So I'm very excited about that. So I think that's it for today for my graptopetalums. Hopefully I didn't miss any, because I realize after I make videos, a lot of times I miss one or two. So then I try to like feature them in a different video. But I don't think I missed any one of them this time around. So I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye now.